outermost layer will be known as what? This will be known as fibrous layer, will be known as fibrous layer. What does it mean? It means there is lot of fibers. Okay? What does it mean? Yes, they have many fibers. Okay? The number 2 layer of what? Perichondrium. Perichondrium. This second layer is known as what? Cellular layer. Known as what? Cellular. What does it mean? You will find here cell. You will find here. These cells are actually known as chondrogenic cell. They are known as what? Yes, they are some sort of stem cell. They will produce chondroblast. They will produce genic. You know what genic? They have which cell? Chondrogenic. Genic is something to produce. Okay? So that means they are stem cells. They will produce what? Chondroblast. They produce what? Chondroblast. So here also we have up to here we are looking into first of all some basic characteristics of cartilage. Cartilage have what? A covering which is known as perichondrium. Which is known as perichondrium has 2 layers, fibrous layer and cellular layer. The next thing you need to understand, this your perichondrium is only found in where? In hyaline cartilage and in elastic cartilage, but you will not find this in here. Fibrous. These things you need to understand. Go to the next. Here in that area, this is your what? This is your cartilage. This is your cartilage. One thing I want to tell you, like epithelial tissue, cartilage is also avascular. This is the characteristics of cartilage. Cartilage is what? Avascular. Okay. And also they are non-nervative. These two things are very important. Number 1 is that they are avascular. That means there is no blood vessel in cartilage. Okay. They are non-nervative. That means there is also no nerve in cartilage. These are the basic characteristics. What? Cartilage mostly are covered by a fibrous connective tissue or dense connective tissue, which is a perichondrium, and they are avascular. They have no nerves. That's clear. Even they have, I can add more things. They do not have lymph vessels. No blood vessels, no nerve vessels, no lymph vessels. Okay, this thing is important. When you look into the cartilage here, inside you will see this whole area. If this is the hyaline cartilage, this will be little bluish, white bluish, like glassy appearance. This area will have what? A glassy appearance if this cartilage is hyaline cartilage, because the matrix of this cell is making this region, this whole region is what? Glassy or little bluish. That's clear. But here you will find maybe like this, some cell like this. They are surrounded by some area like this. Thing you need to understand is that here, because this is the hyaline cartilage or cartilage, you will find here what? Definitely chondrocytes. Definitely cell of the, and you will also find what? Fibers. You will find what? Many fibers. You will find what? Yes. And you will find what? Yes. You will find matrix and cell. Simple is that. You will find what? But when you look in under light microscope or under microscope, you will find some special characteristics. On that basis you can find, oh, this structure or this tissue belongs to cartilage. what they are. If you look on chondrocyte, which is actually first chondroblast, because here if this chondrogenic cells are producing new cell, that cell will be chondroblast. They will produce what? Chondroblast. That chondroblast is somehow a round cell. Chondroblast is what? A round cell, a little big nucleus with many rough endoplasm reticulum, mitochondria, Golgi bodies, and this is surrounded by matrix. So this cell is what? This is a chondro. Needs to choose things to understand. This is chondroblast. You know, blast mean do blast, to produce something. So this cell is actually actively involved and producing what? Matrix. Later on, this cell do what? This cell will be converted into chondrocyte. Become little old. So if you look here, this cell you may find like this here. This is a chondroblast, okay, inside, and most of cell is like this. What really happened here? One more interesting things you need to understand here. This matrix, the matrix of hyaline cartilage, this matrix of cartilage have two different terms we use for matrix. One is term which is known as, here is maybe written, not interstitial, territorial matrix, which is called as, you know what, territorial matrix. And one term is what? Interterritorial matrix. You need to understand what they are. You know, the matrix which is around the chondroblast, or freshly produced by the chondroblast, which is around the chondroblast, this matrix is known as what? Territorial matrix. In other sense, extracellular matrix around the chondroblast is known as what? Territorial matrix. But all fibers and the whole extracellular matrix between different chondroblast is known as what? Interterritorial. Look on this picture here. This area, this whole matrix is what? Interterritorial matrix. But matrix around the chondroblast here, if here around this or around this specific matrix known as what? Territorial matrix. Okay, this is actually, we are dividing extracellular matrix of cartilage into two types to understand. That's clear. Normally you will find these two types of matrix on the, this is, you know, this classification based histological classification, territorial matrix and intra-territorial matrix. That's clear. Another important thing which we know, if you study cartilage, or especially hyaline cartilage, you will find a term cell nest. This is important. Also this is called as isogenic cells. Okay. And other term you may heard, this is more important, lacuna or lacunae. Different pronunciation. You may call lacuna or lacunae. So these are the different pronunciation. What are these terms which are associated with cartilage? These are what? You know, the chondroblast or chondrocyte inside this matrix, they have ability, they divide. Via mitosis, especially chondrocytes do this. When they are old, they need to have ability to the division. But when they divide, for a time being, they stay close each other. and covered by a little capsule of matrix. This prevascular area, they are all new cells. If this cell divided into